What is up, my Ammonites? It's your boy Yen Guy, and welcome back to the world of Try. Now, as you can clearly see, I am not actually using the same file as I've been doing in the playthrough series because, well, Lagaya Chris has officially been confirmed to return. And by the end of this weekend, no less. So, it's gonna be a very, very happy Monster Hunter Monday. So yes, to prepare for such a very, very special time, we're gonna just go ahead and hang out here. Out in the open sea. So, in case of those that actually don't know what Lagaya Chris is and what the hype is, well, in this game, Monster Hunter Try, we are dealing with a sea dragon that has a lot of electricity coursing through its veins. Hold up. Have you heard the conflict going on with new MCU Ironheart series? Let's not bring up that political storm. We don't need that crap here. It's already been rejected by everyone. I'm rejecting it here. But as I was saying, Lagaya Chris, it is the third most popular monster to hunt of all time, as was confirmed by none other than Capcom themselves. And to celebrate his great return, as well as the first step of underwater combat, no less, we're gonna see if we can compare notes as to what we should be expecting in the world of Monster Hunter Wilds. So let's see here. From the comics, then the show. I don't even read the comics myself, but yeah, that's bleh. So much woke shit. Get it out of here. We don't want it. We don't need it. Nobody does. I don't know anyone crazy enough to actually deal with it. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk to the Meow Chef. Do I have a voucher? No. But I do have what this does. Stamina increased and thunder resistance increased. Okay, I see you. And just in time too, because we are going. Oh wait, urgent. Decisive battle, we already did that. Any plans for the next future hybrid war, if there is one, that is? Well, my hybrids are already in full swing. I haven't made any videos. I'm actually taking a quick break on that whole hybrid thing. And I won't be streaming Friday next week because I am going to be going away to see family. I'm going to see my fellow fishies. Let's... You know what? I'm feeling a little brave. Rathalos and Lagaya Chris. I'm not sure if we can actually do this here, but I am feeling very brave. Yeah, that's definitely something I would want. And Are you also gonna be searching for an artist to draw your hybrids to see if they... like I said, I'm gonna be doing there are a lot of things that are going on, so I can't just do it all at once, so be patient with me, Ammonites. I promise it's coming. At some point. There are a lot of things I gotta get through first. Okay, readying. Death of sky and sea. Oh, this is gonna be an epic battle indeed. I've got thunder resistance. Alright, quest info. No bonuses, so you can also try redrawing them. Possibly. But in the meantime, we are going back to the deep. Whoa! Yeah, I actually did just get myself an art pad, and I played around with it for a little bit, so I'll be doing a little bit of doodling here and there if I have the time, because I am a very busy fish. Yeah. Now in we go. Perfect timing. We are going to demonstrate the battle of the Sea King himself. Alright. Let's be smart about this. We're dealing with two different monsters. Ever first appearance of the early monster hunter before the millennium? Yeah, I was just wondering where you were. I wouldn't know. Yeah, it's been a while since we actually interacted with the Damiel. You think we should do a world stream at some point? I will take that as a no! Okay. I know, I've fought you so many times, I know how to fight you! Just you wait till I get my trident out. Then you'll really be sorry. You and her have been split for so long now. Ever thought about hooking up with her and get back in the game like old time's sake? You know, you should get a fresh air in your... You guys really miss Namiel, don't you? Well, I haven't made plans to bring her back, but I'm pretty sure there's an opportunity to bring her back at some point. I mean, Namiel is a popular monster too.
Very skilled water killer and make you strong.
Actually, that would be Chris. This is actually need to remind you guys, this is actually the first Monster Hunter game I ever played. So, in other words, I was actually very skilled as a hunter in the water before Namiel was in the picture. So, I guess you could say in some ways it was actually laggy. That made me a better hunter. Now, I already took an L onto that one. I'm actually, it's gonna be mostly land-based, and there are obviously a lot of new moves in the roster for Lagiacrus. So who knows what we're gonna really expect out of him. I knew you had a together any reaction to you ever dates with her at some waterworks. Yeah, but then she got touchy with the soapbox. Who knows what kind of soap-covered babies they're making? All right. Speaking of Mizitsune, I'm actually wondering if Lagiacrus will have a turf war with Mizitsune as well. I mean, that would be a very interesting matchup. Yeah, he agrees. Now, where are you going? Don't tell me you're going back to... this is gonna be a log chase. If I ever, you already put an end to Mr. Bubbles after what he did her. Besides, you kicked his butt. If I recall, still missed you after area. Yeah, if he got, I wouldn't mind seeing a commission of that. Namiel as Ariel and Yengai as Prince Eric. Yeah, there's that yeah, what would you call that hashtag? Yeniel? back in the water. Oh well. Joke's on you, I was just gonna grab your tail! You know what? I'm just fully mermaid. Yeah, except a few wings, yep. I can totally see that. If you guys want to commission that, I would love to see that. I just need to... Come on. Since there's gonna be even more in the future. Cha-cha, way to go, buddy! You're a lifesaver! Unless you would rather keep her at... Perhaps you should find an artist who can draw like navigate those evolutions similar to you and both the Mega Dragons. And keep her as her elder dragon, since you did like the big dragons back up. Yes, and there are plenty of reasons for that. Now, where did I... Okay, I got really lost. Make haste! Okay. All set. How did this little thing happen? Okay, there he is taking a nap. He'll be taking a dirt nap soon enough. I just need to break those hordes and those shell shockers. See how much damage you're getting in these games. Well, you gotta remember, this is back in the old days. This is back when Monster Hunter actually had paint balls. This was a different time. This was a very niche franchise before it became popular. Getting in these It might also be my settings as well, because I like the natural feel of this franchise. You see? Look at that. Oh. He's almost down for the count. I can't afford another fail. It still would have been useful if you had bars to see how much damage you're getting and how close you are to defeating it. Well, the newer games don't really have that either. That's why you pay attention to the body language. If it's limping away, that's when you take him out. I mean, if you need health bars for a Monster Hunter, then you're not a real Monster Hunter. You gotta track it. You gotta know how to fight things. All right. Round 3. You're not rebuilding any health on my watch. These shell shockers are broken. Horn's definitely broken. Ashamed of that. That really hurt, but I am not ashamed of that. Yes, but you're dealing with larger monsters that take a long time to beat because of how some have dense skin. You would have no idea on how much damage you're giving monsters. That, again, that's the thing. You gotta pay attention to the body language of the monsters. That's how original monster hunting actually works. You don't need health bars. You don't need any of the numbers that are hitting every time you hit it. I mean, that's just how it was, even since the beginning. So you gotta understand, this is a monster hunting game. I mean, if it were just like any other boss with health bars and all that, that would actually be pretty boring. The point of Monster Hunter is not just hit it till it dies. It's have a strategy on how you hit things until it dies. Only old-fashioned when gaming, but health bars can be useful to see how close you are of defeating enemies or monsters that are very difficult to beat, but I'm just old school. Well, I would say more casual, if I'm gonna be honest. You gotta know when, you gotta pay attention. You gotta see how the monster reacts. You gotta see what the monster is doing. Is he limping? Is he trying to get away? You gotta understand. You gotta give it until you gotta pay attention to how the monster is acting. If he's at the brink, you know. I mean, it's been that way since the first game back in the 2000s. Back in the good old PS2 era. And back in this era, too. And this is actually the third installment of Monster Hunter. So yeah, I've been hearing that's just a weird complaint that I had about some players saying, oh, we need a health bar for Monster Hunter. Like, no we don't. No, we don't. You gotta pay attention to how the monster is moving. That's your health bar. Hunting back in my youth in Dinotopia, but when hunting prey, we just ambush and attack. And I suppose you need any health bars to know when the prey is done? You need any health bars to do any hunting when you're bringing down your prey? Yeah, didn't think so. Well, let's go ahead and... look at this. Home sweet home. The good old Lagiacrus fountains. Alongside my trident. A chance to... You see? You see? That's my point. You don't give your prey a chance to escape. and you don't need any health bars. So yeah, so no, I don't think the problem with Monster Hunter isn't the health bars at all, because, I mean, that's crazy. Why would you even suggest that? Where is that? Well, that's because we don't live in a game world. We live on a remote island of dinosaurs and humans, coexisting in a society hidden from the outside world. But even still, you gotta understand, hunting does not involve any health bars. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. When will Sparrows react to more video? Hello, Nick! How's it going? It's been a while. Yeah, I haven't quite figured out what Spyro wants to react to next. It actually has been a while. But we'll have to figure that out at some point or another, wouldn't we? But in the meantime, we are here to celebrate the return of our beloved Sea King. Now let's go ahead and try this again. I am very determined. I know I can beat him. It's Rathalos that I really gotta watch out for. After my escape from Dinotopia and learn stuff outside, I sometimes see players' games that usually has health bars on the screen, and that Hi Cooper and even Spyro. Yeah, and that's what makes Monster Hunter unique. It's a hunting game. It's not your typical beat 'em up. I think I figured something Spyro should react to. Well, on the last video of Spyro, please be sure to leave your thoughts in the on the comments. You know what to do, Iamanites. But anyway, let's try again. I think I finally figured out the art of the sword. It's been a while, so please bear with me. Some hunting games have health bars. Yeah, some. But this is a unique game. Yeah, like I said, this is what made Monster Hunter successful. All right. Let's get one last gulp of air. Like classic hunting games that are outside the Monster Hunter franchise. I mean, you have to remember most hunting games actually don't have hunting health bars. I think the problem with most players is they're not used to this sort of gameplay, while us veterans actually are. Jungle Cruise ride videos. You guys want me to react to those kind of videos? Get him on board on that, but he's pretty much made it clear he wants nothing to do with the Skylanders anymore. Jack and Dexter.
He's been in crossing
You distracted me! Oh!
I see my games has been in crossovers. I guess he's joined in.
Yeah, I know Jack and Dexter is made by Naughty Dog, but they're pretty much the same brand, if you really think about it.
but he had many crossovers like Crash Bandicoot and Skylanders, basically games he's crossed over in. Is that what you guys are wanting here?
Oh boy.
What would be interesting had a collaboration with other popular brands, like maybe Transformers, Dragon Ball, and a robot.
Coming soon. Are you challenging me with Mason again? 'Cause I'll torch him again. Well, so far I haven't lost many, if any at all. So, whoa. But I'll definitely be keeping track of how many I've killed. And so far it's quite a bit. right on the edge. You can stay right there. Paddock 1A? What classification are you trying to pull here, Alpha?
How many times do I have to tell you this, old man? You ain't gonna win!
Hybrid unit for the, which is strong enough to impede a specific hybrid.
You know, I actually did. That is exactly what I had in mind. When I was beating Spin. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I made them very specialized in specific environments and specific purposes. Yeah, shock trap for you, methinks. And perfect environment to live in. Well, if you remember Glarong, I did specifically have him survive in hard, dry areas. Challenging you for another hybrid war? there goes that idea. Alright, off to Rathalos. Dr. Alan Mercer will be expecting you, Mr. Young Guy. Alright, Mercer. How many times do I have to tell you this, old man? I've already beaten you once. I've beaten you multiple times, and your lack of logic is never gonna beat my hybrids. And even in the fictional scenarios, you're still not going to win. I cooked you so many times. I don't trust Disney. I don't trust them either. All right. Okay, paintball. I just gotta look for our flying friend. There he is! There we go.
Man, scientist is pretty much a relentless
I'm wearing Lagiacrus armor. Not the best for a Rathalos. And I'm using a Rathalos blade, so not the best scenario, but it could be worse.
a strange anomaly.
Sure. Okay. Good to go.
What makes this hybrid any different than the rest that tried and failed? To not only kill Young Guy's hybrid, but also the Indom 2.0!
Good question, Raptor. Hello? I've already beaten you once. I've beaten you again. crown? Oh no, I got your wing! That's perfect! All the better! Oh, he's exhausted, all right. He's heading this way. I know your every move.
Uh-oh, it's less than 10 minutes.
He's probably heading for the Epcanoff. Or not. I'm a tail cutter! The hybrid became nothing but prey for those in Dom 2.0. Yeah, that is true. And mine did not. You know, I actually wonder if I should just do a video of all my hybrids trying their best to fight against the Indom 2.0. I mean, you've seen the details, but now on how they are made, but how will they fare? chopping block by Young Guy's hybrids. Yes, that is true. Yeah, I just keep cooking them all. Yes, call me Chef Yenny. I am cooking. I am chefing. And now, awaiting for my next victim. Oh, look at that. Ah. Look at this. Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out here. But anyway, yeah. As you can tell, I am very excited for Monster Hunter Wilds. I have no idea how the hybrid war got into this, but hey, I based one of my hybrids off of Lagiacrus. Except instead of having electricity, I just gave him poison. If you find animals or dinosaurs to create hybrids that could possibly rival one of Young Guy's hybrids? I mean, Raptor. He actually tried that, and it still failed. I even gave benefit of the doubt and thrown air pressure and gravity out of the completely out of the equation. So yeah, with that logic, even with all that, he still kicked the bucket 5 times. But yeah, I'm actually excited for this new underwater combat system that's gonna be happening. And with that, I guess I'm gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to go ahead and wait till Monday. Hope you guys are all excited. I know I certainly am. And if you are, please leave your thoughts, comments, and all that jazz in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe, all that jazz to become a very lucky Ammonite today. And as always, my Ammonites, I will see you in the next time. And bye!